Ya udah, udah tinggal on. Di refresh coba dulu. Di refresh. Lama di refresh. Reload. Oke kan? Nah, tinggal kamera lo setting dari WiFi-nya gitu ini. Lo tinggal cari penyakit itu udah gede-gede. Dah. Udah off itu.
Easy. Iya, tadi pisau microbiome.
Nah, lo ke YouTube-nya coba.
Oh, ini ada University
Itu diri lo. Nah, suka sedikit kalau lihat di itu di waktu kecil. Gue yang lama. Iya. Posisinya udah gue. Udah. Posisi udah oke. Itu kamera kemana? Motor. Bersih. Ya, boleh. Yang ini ambil aja. Itu yang ini ke sana.
Many parties in India. Struggling to maintain the good people isn't easy. Yeah. Yeah, with different perspective, with different goals, with different. That's big box. It's not easy. It's very challenging. Actually, my document is occupied medicine. Although in some parts, it's also related to nutritional investigations. But it is in this discipline that it is about management, leadership. And it will be more fit to come here to share.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to the Honorable Excellencies, the Director of Senior Econ, Bapak Muntarudin Mansur, MD PhD, Honorable Speakers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the third seminar on current issues and updates on food composition table. My name is Dewi. I'm honored to be your Master of Ceremony for today. Before we proceed further, I would like to invite you to stand up and listen to the national anthem of Indonesia, Indonesia Raya, and sing in color. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Now I would like to invite you to listen the senior song. of this seminar is to share current issues and updates on food composition table and to facilitate the effort in the upgrading and updating of Indonesian food composition table. This seminar will be streamed online via YouTube of Simulation channel. To brief us on the overview of today's seminar and workshop, I would like to invite Dr. Umi Fahmida to give the report from the committee. Dr. Umi Fahmida, thank you.
Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome all honorable guests. Good morning, Pak Mukhtar, Dr. Dile, Prof. Ratna, Gina Jarina, Mbak Marita, all my colleagues from our partner institutions and also our participants from the regional force of nutritional status assessment. So I would like to briefly update why we have this already now the third current issues and updates on food composition table, the seminar and workshop. The idea coming the last 2 years since 2015 is that we would like to be part of the supporting partner for the development of Indonesian FCT in particular, but also to the Southeast Asians by sharing information dissemination and techniques and expertise related to food composition table. And so we started in 2015, always integrated under the schedule in the program of regional training in nutrition assessment, with Professor Rasulin Bison. And we come up with the recommendations by then from the workshop that we did the working group on food composition table in Indonesia. That was in October 2015. And we are very happy in 2016, the MOH of Indonesia really established this Indonesian FCT task force, and we have members here of the task force of the working group to share later during the seminar and also the workshop in the afternoon sessions. And we continue also last year in 2016, and especially we also continue to discuss how we can upgrade by borrowing compositions and also update using food compositions and analysis. And one of the recommendations from last year's seminar is also that we need to also enrich our Indonesian FCT with more foods, not only single foods, which are now already completed and we will get later, but also on the recipes and manufactured food, because we have more and more manufactured food. And so this third seminar and workshop is a follow-up of the idea from last year also, so that we can facilitate the discussion and recommendations to be followed up by Indonesian FCT working group, how we can later handle more nutrients in our FCT, including fatty acids, maybe also others in acids, and also to collaborate with all related parties to enrich the information, including the manufactured food. So we invite the participation of all of you in the seminar, and also of course later during the workshop. So today's seminar is attended by participants. This morning seminar and later workshops, we have a confirmed participation from representative from the Ministry of Health, from National Institute of Health Research and Development, also from the Ministry of Marine Affairs and Fisheries, Food Security Agency of Ministry of Agriculture, later also Batan, academic institutions, NGO, and private institutions involved in the FCT. We would like to invite for their inputs, experience, and suggestions so that we can extend it to Indonesian FCT working group for follow-up action. So I hope you benefit from this seminar. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Umi Fahmida. Ladies and gentlemen, to open up this event, I would like to invite the Director of Seminar Reform, Bapak Mukhtar Mansur, MD PhD, to give his welcoming speech. For Pak Muntarudi, the time is yours.
Very good morning, everybody. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Our distinguished guest lecturer, Dr. Billy, Prof. Ratna Gita, Nazarina, Wan Marita, and all participants, distinguished speakers, and also from NGO. Very good morning and welcome to CMU and welcome to the third seminar and workshop current issues and updates on food composition table. We know that the food composition table is a key component of nutrition assessment, as Bumi mentions that we have had 3 consecutive meetings for this issue and continue to the last year same seminar and workshop based on the feedback, outcome, and participation. We now hold the third seminar with the same issue related to the food composition table. In this opportunity, I would like to thank to especially the Indonesian food composition table task force for sharing, coming and sharing to updates about the progress of the Indonesian food composition table, and also in particularly our deepest gratitude to extend our deepest gratitude to Dr. Eileen, well-known expert in nutrition assessment, especially in dietary assessment, for coming, for sharing your expert and experience to enrich our effort to improve the nutritional status situation in Indonesia, especially through the food Indonesian food composition table. I also want to thank you, Bu Umi, as organizing committee to conduct this seminar, and I apologize for anything inconvenience in this occasion, and thank you for coming, sharing, and thank you for your attention. I will enjoy the seminar and workshop and will be fruitful meeting again as the song of the seminar. That building the future is our legacy. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Pak Muntarudi. Briefly, there will be 4 lectures in this seminar, which are lecture on the update Indonesian food composition table that will be delivered by Ibu Nazarina, Master of Medical Science. She is from Indonesian Food Composition Table Working Group. Then followed by lecture on fatty acid composition of food consumed by Indonesian children that will be delivered by Professor Dr. Ratna Junita, MPH from Fakultas Kesehatan Masyarakat Universitas Indonesia. The third lecture, we will have Dr. Andes Tepi Usia, AKT, MPhil PhD. He is a Directorate of Food Product Standardization, Indonesian National Agency of Drug and Food Control. The fourth lecture, we will have Dr. Ellen Ferguson from London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine for discussing the current issues and updates on food composition table. Before we proceed to the seminar session, we would like to invite the speaker for a second of appreciation from the Director of Senior Reform. So please, for the speakers, stand up at the front. All the speakers, Dr. Ellen Ferguson, Ibu Nazarina, Professor, Dr. Najmika. And I would like also to invite Ibu Umi Fahmida to join the Before we are going on to our main session of this seminar, please welcome to our moderator for this seminar, Dr. Umi Fahmida. Dr. Umi Fahmida is Acting Deputy Director for Program at Senior Recon and Course Coordinator of Regional Training in Nutritional Status Assessment. Dr. Umi Fahmida is also member of Indonesian Food Composition Table Working Group. To Dr. Umi Fahmida, the time is yours. Please give applause to Dr. Umi Fahmida.
Selamat pagi, good afternoon. I forgot to mention also that in this group we have participants from Thailand, from Myanmar, Bangladesh, from Laos, Bali, and also from Cambodia. Selamat pagi. Now they are good in saying selamat pagi, Pak, because already more than 1 week in Indonesia to contest. So we will be quite informal in our discussions, and we would like, especially our experts, to really be sharing. And the first session, I would like to invite so as mentioned by Dewi, so we will have 4 speakers. I'm sure from the topic it will be complementary each other, especially from those who are soon going to start their studies and dealing with dietary assessment, and of course we will have to deal with food composition table. So the first speaker, we would like to update, especially most of you who are Indonesians, about the current progress in Indonesian RCT. And we are thankful that Ibu Nazarina, who is member of the Indonesian Food Composition Table Working Group, especially from the subcommittee of the borrowing. What is borrowing? You will later learn. There is the method that how we can fill the cells of the nutrients which are still missing with a certain method from other FCT. And Ibu Nazarina is currently such in the Indonesian FCT working group, is also the staff at the National Institute of Health Research and Development, in Ministry of Health Indonesia. And previously she completed her diploma in nutrition from Academy ISI Jakarta, and also the master's in medical science in human nutrition from University of Sheffield, UK. So Elaine is from the UK grad. So we will have 4 presentations in a row, so we will not have the question answer session after this. So we will combine because we may link one speaker to another. So please take note of your questions, and then we will have the question answer session after the 4 speakers. So for the first speaker, Ibu Nazarina, time is yours. Please give applause to Ibu Nazarina.
Thank you, Guru. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning to all distinguished participants and also speakers mostly. I would like to present about the updated Indonesian food composition table. So what we have done for Indonesian food composition table so far, I will explain today. Sorry. So far, this activity for updating Indonesian food composition table is conducted by the Indonesian FCT working group. It started 2016 under the Ministry of Health. The member of this working group contain some institutions from education, research and development, and also from life science institution and Batan, and also from BPPOM is Food and Drug Administration. The activities of
you can use
this one. The activities for this working group are training and workshops, updating food items and nutrient contents, produce guideline for nutrient imputation and food analysis, then developing Indonesian FCT website, developing food mapping, which content of the food most consumed in each provinces in Indonesia, and also developing networking with other institutions for the availability of food component and nutrient data, so can be reached our data later on. Okay. So for this updating, which Indonesian FCT is being updated. Actually, the Indonesian FCT 2015 2009 that have been updated. And this FCT is compilation from nutrition database in 1964, which is very long for ages, and also 1990, 1993, and 2001. This is the Indonesian FCT 2009. If we look at, there are some missing nutrient value here. Indonesian FCT 2009 has some food components which are water as energy, protein, carbohydrate, and fiber. Calcium is about 17 food components. And also food types in the Indonesian FCT are single foods and mixed or composite food, and also raw and cooked food. Why does Indonesian FCT need updating? As we know before, there are so plenty missing nutrient values. Here, the data of missing nutrient values in Indonesian FCT 2009 before updated. For single food, there is some percentage of missing nutrient value. The highest in sodium and potassium and sodium, also for the composite food. And here also for zinc, it's about 37 missing nutrient value, missing zinc value. So what is the updating Indonesian FCT activities? Instead of imputation the missing nutrient value for raw food and cooked food is using single cooking simply cooking method. We also have some activities such as giving scientific and English name for the foods in FCT, and giving inputs techniques, putting edible portion data, adding more food item with their nutrients content from food analysis data. This data belongs to Ministry of Agriculture, so we add it to FCT 2009. And giving food description. For example, here milk, a liquid. So milk is in form of liquid, not powder. So the user should be aware with this food description. How we impute the missing nutrient value? Here the technique for borrowed value. We did matching food identification, matching food components, and then we did calculation based on solid weight. All of these activities we document. For references that we use for borrowed value, we were using Asian FCT, Malaysian, Thailand, Vietnam, and the last is USDA Nutrition Database. And there were also imputed value. We are using data from National Atomic Energy Agency, especially for nutrients, zinc, and iron. However, for missing nutrient value that we could not be imputed is retinol, because the retinol in our FCT values are from vitamin A conversion. Also, the retinol, as we know, is outdated as health indicator now. And the next nutrient is carotene total, which is outdated as health indicator. And vitamin C. For vitamin C, we couldn't do imputation because the analysis for vitamin C using updated data with this titration, so should be replaced. All the vitamin C data in FCT 2009. For regional activity equivalent, it is more used for health indicator. The conversion could not be done for formula retinal equivalent activity because to convert we need more data for other nutrients such as we don't have cryptoxanthin data and also alpha carotene, so we couldn't do conversion for RIA. And for available carbohydrate in our FCT, the carbohydrate can mix between total carbohydrate and also available carbohydrate. When we try to convert the carbohydrate in FCT to available carbohydrate, it didn't work because maybe the fiber here is not dietary fiber. Some are food fiber, so probably the result become wrong and not valid. And some limitation on Indonesian FCT updating. When we did the updating, some limitation is taxonomy was determined from food names because it's already passed, so we only have the food names. We don't have documentation for example, picture or food samples. So someone who expert in taxonomy only determined from the name of the food. And also the name of the food sometimes is a local name, so it's hard to know what food is. And imputation of missing nutrient value for simply cooked food did not consider added salt. For example, boiled potato, some people probably add the salt, but we didn't consider the added salt for imputation. That's the limitation. Finally, for updated Indonesian food composition that we got, total food item is about 1,146, and we add 39 new food items, which is has analytical values. The data belongs to Ministry of Agriculture. 5.2% food have no taxonomy because the limitation that I mentioned before, and 10% foods have no edible portion data. 7% of food have no match food, and we have supplement amino acid, fatty acid, and cholesterol. We didn't do implication here. This just belongs to the research and development institution, so we just use as supplement. And here the difference of missing nutrient value among the nutrients before updated and after updated. The potassium is from 37 missing value become 15% missing value. And for vitamin C and retinol, because we didn't do imputation, so the percentage of missing value are the same. Here for the food groups and sodium, which has missing nutrient value. So among these food groups, sodium with missing value, the highest is in fish, and also potassium and zinc also in fish, the most missing value, and for beta carotene in meat and poultry. That's all the updated Indonesian food composition table. So what's the next activity is developing Indonesian FCT website as Indonesian FCT data portal.
that will be hosted by Ministry of Health. It is in progressing. We work with GAIN, and then conducting food composition research analysis for nutrient values. It is also in progressing this year. It's conducted by Health Research Development Ministry of Health. They will collect it and analyze the from 416 processed or manufactured food, also for 47 fresh cooked food. So it's this year. And also the next activity we will do imputation of missing nutrient values for composite food to determine type of fiber in Indonesian FCT, which one is food fiber, which one is dietary fiber, because it's important when we want to know the intake of fiber, and replacing some outdated nutrient data. For example, in FCT 2009, milk is from the nutrition database in 1964, and oil also. And tea leaf, tea as a leaf, and coffee as powder will be replaced by infusion from foam, because no one, or maybe very little, commonly people consume infusion form of tea, not the leaf. And also adding food items, especially manufactured food. There are so many manufactured food here, and they are always growing for new manufactured food. Probably we will do, hopefully, and we will do by doing food analysis. This is the first option. And the second option, probably we can do agreement with BPOM or Food, Drug and Admission about nutrient manufactured food data, because we assume that BPOM has the data nutrient of manufactured food. And the worst, we borrowed from labeling, which is so many limitations on problem if we borrow from the labeling. Because in food label, few nutrient value input label, and also some manufactured food not having nutritional facts here. I don't know about the regulation. For example, as we know, there are so many spice flour in the market, and coconut milk, manufactured coconut milk. So we changed our food pattern from fresh coconut milk become manufactured coconut milk, kind of like that. And the conclusion, as we know, Indonesian FCT is very far behind, and also so many missing nutrient values. Some nutrient using outdated food analysis, and fiber is not sure which one is dietary fiber and good fiber in FCT, and also carbohydrate. So users should be aware about this when they want to use this updated FCT. So still should be aware, even though it's already updated. There's still a lot of work. And that's why updating Indonesian FCT is never-ending activity, because a list of food types is also growing. For this activity, which is borrowed value and inputted value, and also developing the website, we thanks to GAIN to sponsor it. Thank you for this presentation.
Thank you very much, Ibu Najarina, for sharing and updating us on the current updates on the Indonesian food composition table. So I hope you will have questions later. You can have your questions, especially Indonesian participants who will be using that for your research. So for the next 20 minutes, we would like to have our second speaker, Professor Ratna Dwika from the Department of Epidemiology, Faculty of Public Health, Universitas Indonesia. Professor Ratna obtained her doctorate in Public Health and Nutrition, actually by the time here at the Faculty of Medicine with senior reform. With dissertation related to the lipid profiles in different ethnic populations in Indonesia. So she has been working also a lot with food composition, treatment of fatty acids. She obtained her Master of Public Health from Johns Hopkins University School of Hygiene and Public Health in USA, and she's also an MD, graduate from Fakultas Kedokteran Universitas Indonesia. Professor Ratna's field of expertise include urban health, reproductive health, nutritional epidemiology, in particular related to communicable and non-communicable diseases. So a lot related to dietary intake and also, of course, the composition table. So please welcome Professor Ratna to present her presentation on fatty acid composition of food consumed by Indonesian children. Prof. Ratna, time is yours. Please welcome Prof. Ratna Dwika.
Thank you, Umi. Good morning. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I just want to share about the fatty acid composition of food consumed by Indonesian children. So I'm not a technical person like Ibu Nasira that showing how you really define a food composition table. I just use the data. This is what I'm working with. Okay. So, according to literature review, in general, the intake of SAPA are higher, and then intake of pupa. Okay, and then data from the developing country are really lack about essential fatty acid, like in the pupa. So for Indonesia, there's no national data available on intake of essential fatty acid, as the Indonesian food composition table only provides data on, if I'm not wrong, they do have total fat, SAPA, MUPA, and PUPA, but not really essential fatty acid. So, our study is to generate data on individual fatty acid content of food consumed by the Indonesian children from 4 to 13 course. These data are reanalyzed from dietary intake data from the Riskus data 210. So using the data on the fatty acid composition of Indonesian food. So this we already published this fatty acid composition of Indonesian food in the Journal of Composition Analysis. So this study was conducted based on the collaboration with the first author is Nicole from the University of okay, and then from the Faculty of Public Health, and then Faculty of Human Ecology, IPB, Pak Ahmad and Risi, and then from the non-nutritionist Singapore and non-nutritionist from the Netherlands. So this is a collaboration working study to really generate the fatty acid composition of the Indonesian food. So the method is just it's from the Riskus 210. It's from a 24-hour data assessment data, and then we select only among food per consumed from children between 4 to 10 children. And then we also limit about 450 until 200 calories. Because if you look at the data, there's many, so we just limit that reliable energy consumed by the children. Okay? And then we then order food contributing to children's food activity. The way how we choose the selected food that we are going to generate the fatty acid composition is by rank order. But we select about, this is 181, actually 120 is we select food that 95% consumed by the children. So we select 120 food and we analyze the fatty acid. While the rest is about 157 or 160 is by what you say borrowing or imputation is using USDA, this SDA data. So the method for sampling the 120 or 180 food is we call it a cluster in province. In major district of capital capacity and per food on average has 27 samples were taken across 11 under certain province, and they're taken from major output sources or from brands of the food or from different vendors. And then composite to analyze the fatty acid, we composite the food. Okay. So, but the other method, that's how we analyze the fatty acid composition, because they bring to the Vladingen, Netherlands to analyze the fatty acid of the food. So by composite of food. And the other food that they're using, the growing the Indonesian food with most similar food item in USDA based on guideline FAO and food, and impute fatty acid data from USDA into Indonesian food, and adjusted fatty acid to match total fat content of Indonesian food table. So that's the way how they generate the fatty acid, individual fatty acids of the food. So there are 120 that they analyze chemical in flooding in your liver, but the rest, about 160, is by borrowing or imputation from the USDA data. So this is the new food composition table, is Indonesian compatible as basis for the energy and macronutrient, and then added phosphate and fatty acid data from analysis of 180 or 120 food, and added fatty acid data from the food matching of 157 food. So these are the food group for the chemical analysis. There are about 120 food belong to the cereal tuber, about 27 food, egg 5, fish 17, fruit 3, and meat 45, milk 1, legumes 11. So this is about 120 that they analyze the fatty acid. And then these are based, actually we select based on the PUFA. And then this is the PUFA content that they analyze. The highest PUFA program is about peanut, baked without shell, peanut bake, and peanut without skin. And then the total omega-3 is the highest is sardine, okay, and the soybean tempeh, tofu, and tofu fried and until different or fried fish. These are the variation of the total omega food of our food Indonesian food that consumed by the children. Okay, and then for the alpha linolenic acid. Is the highest is about full soybean tempeh, tofu, and tempeh fried. So actually, we can consume based on our soybean tempeh and tofu. And then for the EPA is also sardine and all this is I put it the Indonesian name. Sardine, ikan asin, ikan temu, all the fishes are content of EPA, but the highest is again sardine. Sardine is tuna or mackerel? Mackerel, yeah. And then for the DHA, it's also again the highest is sardine and other different kind of the fishes, other content of the DHA. And then for the omega-6 is again from the nut. This is a peanut and peanut bake. Palm oil are also considered as the high content of omega-6. The palm oil that you consume. And then I just try to look at among the fish group. I just want to look at the omega-3. Again, sardine, anchovy, mackerel is again sardine is the one that highest content of omega-3 among the fish group. And then among legume and nut group, the highest content of the omega-3 is again tempeh and tofu. And then from omega-6, from the legume, this is the legume group. And then for the omega-6, actually, they analyze only two kinds of oil, the palm oil and the coconut oil. It's consisted of 11.1 grams per 100 food and 1.1 for coconut oil. So this is the one that they analyzed using the USDA. So the USDA, they analyzed about 161 food, so tuber, fish, milk, about 161. And then they considered among the 161 food the quality of match food. If it is a really high quality match, they scoring as A, and then B is the medium, and this is the poor quality match. Among the 161 food they matching the USA, only 5% of our food that really match. They consider A score. The food are the ikan mas segar, dendeng sapi, toge, roti keju, cumi, susu kental manis, pisang amon, and santan. This is the one that they consider as high quality match to USDA. The other considered as sufficient, and the C is considered a poor match. Okay. So if we look at the content of the omega-3, so the omega-2 is very high in the scat fried. Scat fried is ikan layang, ikan layang. The one that really met is the ikan kakiot, is ikan mas. This is again that are we going to use this food composition based on borrowing the USDA, because this is not overestimated, considered as what we compare with the one that the daily analyzed potential. It's not that high, the omega-3 content of our food. So we will have to discuss that we want to use this food that we use by borrowing or imputation from the USDA data. And then this is also omega-6. It's more the cracker, peanut, the content of the omega-6. And then this is I just again using the USDA data, but looking at the fish group. So there are different kind of fish. and then this is the Allah. So the variety, so the one that I'm also surprised, according to the USDA data, our cassava leaf fruit is considered as a high content of ALA, high content of omega-3. So when I really analyzed the intake of the children, and then looking back, what are the sources of omega-3 among the children, it comes out with cassava. So it's not, maybe because of this, we are using this borrowing data, because we want to promote that they have to eat tempeh or they have to eat fish. But by analyze this using this composition, both composition, we come out with, because maybe they are more eating cassava than fish and tempeh among the children, and they consider it as a source of omega-3 cassava leaf. It doesn't make sense. So that we have to discuss about by using this kind of food composition, and that's why I never publish this sort of food, because really when we analyze among the Indonesian children, the content of consumed omega-3 is very low compared with the RDA, our RDA. Okay? But and then when we look at the sources by using this food composition, they come out as salt or cassava leaf. So really we have to discuss again by using this. Okay. And then this is the omega-6. And then I think that's all. Okay, I think that's what I want to share about. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. and Najrita, for sharing us about what information we currently have about the composition of fatty acids in our food composition table. This is going to be one of our main discussions during the workshop later. So I'm sure you also have questions, and please take note of your questions. So just before we start with the third speaker, I would like to ask anybody in this room, who among you who yesterday consumed manufactured food? Please raise your hand. Please raise your hand among you who consume also manufactured food, makanan olahan pabrikan. Coba tunjuk tangannya tinggi. Okay, and some are just the natural produce. But without you realize or not, you may be consuming more than just you realize, yeah? Because it may be not only just biscuit or cereals, but it may also be a composition like ketchup. I'm sure how many of you consume ketchup yesterday? Yeah, so when we do 24-hour recall of your intake yesterday, then of course then we have to deal with the food composition table of this manufactured food. And this is also one challenge for the Indonesian food composition table working group, how we can complete this composition of manufactured food. And I'm glad that we have here our resource person, the very resource person about to tell us about composition of food, manufactured food, Dr. Andes Depi Usia, apotheker, Master of Philosophy PhD, Dr. Tepi, graduated Masters and PhD from the Toyama Medical and Pharmaceutical University in Japan, and also pharmacist previously from the National University. He is currently the director of the Food Product Standardization, National Agency of Drug and Food Control, or FDA, the Republic of Indonesia. So Dr. Tepi will share us about what is the current regulation on nutrition labeling in Indonesia, and we expect from here we can also discuss further how we can also benefit from information from manufactured food to complement our nutrient composition in Indonesian food composition table. So Dr. Tepi, time is yours.
Thank you.
Please keep it close.
Okay,
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank for the committee of this seminar or workshop, yeah, to invite me to sharing details about the regulation, yeah, in nutrition labeling, yeah, because we're talking about the information of nutrition, yeah. Now, I would like to tell you about the regulation of nutrition labeling, yeah. Like you already know, maybe I'm a director of food product standardization, yeah. But this is still 3 months ago, yeah. Usually I am specially for the traditional medicines, yeah, because I entry the reform, yeah, Indonesian MTA, yeah. This is since 1993, yeah. But especially in laboratory, yeah, for National Quality Control Laboratory for Drug and Food, yeah, and also my especially for master and PhD, especially to extraction, yeah, and also pharmacology, yeah, pharmacological testing for medical plants, yeah. But they have relation with the food, yeah, because also we're talking in food about nutrition and claim for food, yeah, functional food. Yeah, this is also very interesting for me. Yeah. Okay, next. So this is the outline of my topic today. Yeah. First, we're talking about legal aspect. Yeah, about the nutrition and also about the labeling. And the last is the conclusion of my presentation. Yeah. Okay. First, if we see the legal aspect, yeah. Indonesia is the very big country, and of course we reform, yeah, we want to protect and also keep the safety reason and the safety concern about food, especially for all Indonesian population, yeah. Of course, from we have the undang-undang, yeah, that number, yeah. If you can see in number 18, yeah. 2012, yeah, this is about food, yeah, we have the act, yeah, and also some act about this food, yeah, the government regulation or peraturan pemerintah, yeah, we call that, yeah, this is especially about label and advertising, yeah, you can see, yeah, I think if you open, you already know reform website, yeah. If you can see the website, yeah, www.pom.go.id, yeah, you can see all of the regulation, yeah, all product controlled by POM, yeah, put in our website. Especially also we have the sub-site about standardization of food, yeah, this is my unit, yeah, also we put the all regulation about food. Yeah, you can see that, yeah. Okay, and also other, yeah. If we see, yeah, this is still have many regulations about food. Maybe relating to the nutrition food also in the number 3, yeah. This is safety, quality, and nutrition of food. Yeah, we also have the peraturan pemerintah, government regulation, yeah. And other also the Ministry of Health, yeah. Also we have the information about this is the new regulation, yeah. You have the pointer. I can use this, yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is the new regulation, maybe 4 years ago, yeah. This is about the information of contains the sugar, salt, and fat, yeah, and also have information for processed food, yeah. This is also must put in the label of the food, processed food, yeah. And also we have the POM, ya, serta Kepala Badan POM, ya, NADPS regulation, ya. This is about the guidelines for nutrition information used on food label. Yeah, I think also for the imported food, yeah, I get the mass discussion with the Australian and also yesterday the embassy, the British embassy also come to my office and we discussed about that because they want to know what is the regulation in Indonesia because somebody they have they want to import, yeah, export the product to Indonesia, so they want to know what is the food labeling regulation in Indonesia, yeah. I think this is all including the claim. Yeah, claim also have the regulation. You cannot claim by yourself without approved by the board. Yeah, this is also important. Yeah. Okay, if you see the level, yeah, this is the article number 33, yeah, in the Undang-Undang Pangan, yeah. You can see here, but the every label and advertisement, yeah, on food trade must contain information about food properly and not misleading. This is important. I think I also participate in Codex, yeah. Maybe in June this year, also we have meeting in Geneva, yeah. This is Codex, also the big organization, yeah, supported by FAO, yeah, and WSO, yeah. We're talking about anything about food, yeah, claim, labeling, and anything, and we agree what is the harmonized to agree one regulation like that, yeah. But of course, this is difficult, yeah. But every country can share what is the regulation, and we can see what is the specific of every country, yeah. But maybe for the general, we can adopt some guidelines or some requirements from Codex. Yeah. So this is, I think, this is clear for us. Yeah. Because this is also to protect consumer. Yeah. And other in the peraturan pemerintah, yeah, about food, yeah, label and advertisement. Yeah. This is also said, yeah, description and or statement about the food in the label must be true and not misleading, whether on writing, picture, or any other form. Yeah, so this is important. Maybe next, start from this month, 16 to 20, we have Codex meeting, CCCFL. We call Codex Committee on Food Labeling in Paraguay. Yeah. So my staff also will attend this meeting. Yeah, they have discussed about the labeling in Paraguay next week. Okay, now we look more deep about nutrition labeling. Yeah, a role of food label. Yeah, I think this is the reason why this is very important for consumer and also for the producent, because for nutrition labeling, yeah, this is can use for producer-consumer communication. Yeah, by labeling, the producent can give the information for the consumer, and the consumer also can get, yeah, what is the nutrition content of this product. Yeah, this is very important, and also can give the consumer to make decision. They need this food or not. Yeah, the content of nutrition, this is good for them or not. Yeah, so this is by decision maker for consumer. Right? So for the role, yeah, this is the aim. Yeah, the goal. This is getting the trade, honest and responsible. Yeah, for the producer and also to protect consumer. Yeah, this is important. We can see maybe from me in other import product, yeah, this is important because we have the undang-undang label regulation. Yeah, every product, yeah, import from outside to Indonesia, yeah, in the labeling they must use bahasa. Yeah, for product from Vietnam, from USA, yeah, but enter Indonesia they can not use only English. Yeah, but they must translate. Yeah, they are labeling use Indonesian language, bahasa Indonesia. Yeah, this is very important. Yeah. So and the label must also perform clearly, easily, yeah, and organized and not overcrowded. Yeah. Also about the how to put the label in the product. Yeah, this is also important. Easy to get out of packing, not easy. Yeah, must be the right permanent. Yeah. And also not easy faded or damaged, yeah, and located on the easy to see, yeah, and rejection, yeah, and also the label attached or affixed to the packaging must be firmly attached so that if removed, they will damage. Yeah, I think this is important. And about nutrition fact in the label, yeah, maybe for some food, but we have mandatory for some kind of food. Yeah, especially for fortified food, this is the mandatory must put in the label about the nutrition fact. Yeah, for the food with nutrition and also health claim, also this is the mandatory must put in the label. Yeah. And for weeks, they are required by standard for the sample, yeah, infant formula, this is susu ya for baby, yeah, this is milk for baby, and also follow-on formula, yeah, susu lanjutan, yeah, and also for susu pertumbuhan, makanan-makanan pertumbuhan growing up formula, and also for special drink for pregnant women, yeah, and breastfeeding mothers. This is also the mandatory must put nutrition fact in the label, yeah. Okay, this is the mandatory information must put in the label, serving size, ya, takaran saji, ya, kalau bahasa Indonesia ini takaran saji, ya. Kemudian jumlah takaran saji per container, ya, amount of serving per container, and also some footnote, like di AKG berdasarkan dari berapa miligram per berapa, ya. Ini AKG ada catatan kaki, ya, footnote. Kemudian also for mandatory nutrition, ya. This is total energy mass food, yeah, total fat, yeah, protein and total carbohydrate and sodium. Yeah, this is mandatory nutrition mass food in the label, yeah. But mandatory terms of label also this is for food product contains this nutrient list and certain amount mass food also, yeah. And for other like this nutrition are required to be added for or fortified in food. Yeah, this is also if you have, you can put. Yeah, this is the mandatory, and the relevant food contains or claim relating to the nutrient. Yeah, this is the mandatory must put in the label. Yeah, yeah. We can see here, for example, yeah, for dietary fiber, sugar, vitamin A, and vitamin C, calcium or iron. Yeah, this is also you can put for the mandatory on terms, yeah. Okay, this is the one example of the label. If you see here, yeah, this is all the mandatory here. You can see, yeah, this is contain serving size, yeah. This is for package, yeah, and also amount of serving, how many total energy kilocalorie, yeah. You can put there, yeah. And this is you can see total fat. This is including saturated fat, monounsaturated fat. Yeah, polyunsaturated fat, yeah, including cholesterol. Yeah, this is all in total fat. And for protein also, yeah, how many gram or in percent or MRP, yeah. And carbohydrate, yeah, this is the carbohydrate contains the dietary fiber, soluble dietary fiber, insoluble dietary fiber, yeah, and also sugar, yeah, and the last sodium. Yeah, this is the mandatory nutrition fact must put in the label. But other you can add in, yeah. But all of these labels must support by COA, Certificate of Analysis. You cannot put directly like that. If you want to register in the form, we have the unit called Registrasi Penilaian Pangan, yeah, PKP, yeah. This is the must submit the data to support all this nutrition fact in the label. Yeah, you cannot put any reference to the other but without certificate of analysis. Yeah, this is important because this is describe what is the nutrition fact on your product, not for the other product. Yeah. And this is for the footnote. Yeah, you can see here. This is the percent of MRP, yeah. This is in Indonesia we call angka kecukupan gizi, yeah. This is AKG, yeah. Based on energy requirement like the 2000 kilocalorie, yeah. This is also is the bench for calculate for this one. Okay, this is general format. Yeah, for the format level, yeah. Of course, we cannot standardize only one format. Depends for the big size of label, yeah. And also they have to give their producer and patient, yeah. But all information, yeah, we put here as the mandatory, you must put in the label, yeah. So this is the general format. Maybe you can see like that. but also in the horizontal format also you can put like this. Maybe the product is so small, yeah, not so big, yeah, maybe you can create, this is the horizontal format. And maybe for other, you can put like this, yeah, especially for the small, yeah. But for the very small packaging, yeah, maybe you can also put like this, yeah, for information like this is silakan hubungi telepon number, yeah. Because sometimes it's very small, yeah. So, but you must give some description, yeah, how to consumer how to know, yeah, the information of the nutrition, yeah. So they can call this number and to get more information about the nutrition fact for product, yeah. So this is also the tolerance level, yeah. This is also we know to ensure consumer get information, assurance of nutrition fact in accordance with the requirement of quality of nutrition. Of course, this is like also we call perlindungan konsumen also, yeah, this is important, yeah. And information on the nutrition fact of the food label must be proved by the result of nutrition analysis. Yeah, I think Prof. Katna also know, yeah, this is important, yeah, without the analysis report, analysis of the laboratory, maybe we cannot approve your product, yeah, contains the nutrition. So this is the requirement, yeah, for the tolerance level, yeah, especially for fortified food, yeah, or food with nutrition and health claim, yeah. This is also important. For example, yeah, result of nutrition analysis must more or same with 100% with nutrition facts, yeah. And other for food product, yeah, that have maximum and minimum that we limit, yeah. This is also, yeah, the result of the nutrition analysis must meet, yeah, the requirement maximum and minimum. This is must, yeah. But for the 45, yeah, maybe can same or more, yeah, than 100% with effect, yeah. And for food product with except for group A and B, yeah, the result of nutrient analysis may be same or more than 80%. We have the tolerance for that, yeah. But for that 45 like this, yeah, for analysis, this is to accept the analysis certificate, yeah. And for other than this, you can have more, maybe less, yeah, than 100%, but not less than 80%, yeah. But more is okay, yeah. This is for all food, yeah, including energy, fat, saturated, cholesterol, yeah, must follow this tolerance level. Okay, for conclusion, yeah, I think everybody knows the food label can to provide the correct information, yeah, regarding to the origin, safety, quality, yeah, quality, this is important because nutritional contents, yeah, and other information required on food products that are packaged and fed to the public, yeah. And the second, nutrition fact can be used to regulate nutritional intake, food consumption as needed. Yeah. And the last one, nutrition fact and front of package on processed food label can be one of prevention strategy of non-communicable disease in Indonesia. And I think this is also the one strategy for the Ministry of Health. Yeah. So now the last one, yeah, this is this what is the we call in reform, yeah. This is our slogan, yeah. Because check click. This means we give for the every consumer before you buy one product, you must check click. Click. This is key. This is kemasan or we call packaging. Yeah, the consumer must check the packaging. This is still good or not, or something is damaged, broken. Yeah, and the second, label. You must see the label. This is contain nutrition fact, the content of the manufacturer. Yeah, And the third, about the registration number. Yeah, this is must register in the form. Yeah, and the last one about the expired date. Yeah, this is the 4 point. Yeah, important for the consumer before they buy one processed food. Yeah, they must read that. So, if you have some question, yeah, in the market, you find some product maybe don't have registration number or something don't have expired date. Yeah, you can contact the form. Yeah, we have the call center. Yeah, 1500523. Yeah, this is 24 hours open. You can give information. Yeah, and we can go directly to the market and say what's the product they have problem in the market. Yeah, to control them. Maybe we can keep them. Yeah, and we can call, maybe call for the product and something depend for the case by case. What is the product concern? Yeah. So this is my number 4. Yeah. Direktorat Standarisasi Produk Pangan, Direktorat for Food Product Standardization in Jepang, near here. Yeah, Jalan Percetakan Negara. Yeah, it's very near. Maybe only 10 minutes from here to my office. So you can visit. Yeah, or you can call if you have more information. Yeah, this is open, and also we have the website. Yeah, we also have the communication. You can email something to get some information. Yeah, I think this is important for us, and thank you very much for your attention.
Terima kasih, thank you Pak Devi for sharing the information about the current regulations on the labeling. So in relation to this context of seminar on food composition tables, later we will have in our question answer sessions, the discussion sessions about how actually this information can support us in improving our food composition table of Indonesia. Okay. So now we have the last speaker, and after that is going to be the question answer session. So our fourth speaker is also our first consultant for nutritional status assessment regional course, Dr. Ian Ferguson. For those of you who have been working a lot with dietary, you must be familiar with her name, writing the interactive 24-hour recall books and some other books and publications. Dr. Ferguson earned her doctorate degree in human nutrition at the University of Canada, and she has been working a lot in Africa, also in Asia. So if anybody is familiar also with how is the situation of food composition table in Asia, she is among the few. Dr. Elaine already also has some idea about FCT in Southeast Asian countries, because we work together in the Smiling Project, working with the food composition table and also the optimization of diet with the 5 countries in Cambodia, in Laos, also Thailand, Vietnam, and Indonesia. So Dr. Elaine will share about the current issues on food compositions tables, and please also take note of your questions. Elaine, time is yours. Please
Thank you very much for inviting me. And I just wanted to, before I begin, just acknowledge Professor Rosalind Gibson, because many of these slides have come from her, so that some of the slides, yes, so I just really want to acknowledge her contribution to this talk as well. Okay, just to begin, there is a lack of country-specific food composition data in many, many countries. It's really a global issue for anybody doing any dietary assessment. And this has really been a limited investment, I think, when we we look at the infrastructure for dietary assessment, is that investment in food composition data. And often, so it really does impede all of our analysis, because often we're borrowing food values from other databases. And so it's impeding our ability for research, for program policy decisions, etc. that can be made, because of course the nutrient content of foods, as we've heard this morning, can differ depending on the different food supplies. We can't really look we've got a lot of error being introduced with composition tables when we're looking at design and nutrition and disease, or when we're trying to make decisions about fortification strategies. So food composition data, as the audience here will know, is very important, and particularly as we're talking about the commercial foods now, there's just the rapid changes in our food composition, in our food supply. This is with fortified foods, with those levels changing over time, and the ultra-processed foods that we're seeing in the food supply. And so it's very difficult to keep on top of that. And you are doing research. If you're doing any dietary assessment, you're trying to make decisions about what food composition data should I use. You're going to many composition tables, fortification levels may be different, etc. There's also a growing recognition of the importance of anti-nutrients. And again, we have very little data available on some of these anti-nutrients, and yet for some nutrients, it may be critical to have an understanding of what the intakes might look like. And fatty acids, I guess, would be another one. And amino acids are sort of coming up, so there's quite a few different nutrients. So we often borrow food composition data from other countries, and especially we're often borrowing it from the USDA. And so we did a study recently looking at how much borrowed food composition tables there were for animal source foods in African countries, and we found that 69 to 88% of the food composition data for animal source foods were borrowed from other countries, and predominantly the USA. And that was looking at several different countries in Africa. And so when you're borrowing food composition table, of course you're needing to impute data. So you're having to make quite a few decisions, because there may be differences in soil conditions, which are particularly important for nutrients such as iodine and selenium. There may be differences in cooking practices, which could mean cooking losses may differ in different countries. Of course, varieties of foods and fortification levels. But there can be many differences between the values you're taking from and the local situations. Another one would be the fat content in meat, for example. So there's a need to have increased investment. It's one of the main points that I'd like to bring across, to update. So it's wonderful to hear the work that's being done here, and to do some analysis to produce these locally specific food composition databases. So that's sort of the general sort of message that I'm hoping to get across. So some of the issues that I'm going to be briefly touching on, and a lot of these are coming from Professor Gibson, are the addition of anti-nutrients. So I'm going to look a little bit at cold phytate, caution when borrowing values from other food composition tables, considerations in regards to fortification, nutrient values from some of these commercial products, methods of imputing. So this is really speaking to specialist students in the room. So what you do when you're trying to impute values. The need for food supplement databases, because there's more consumption of food supplements than would have been done in the past, updating, etc. And I'm just going to briefly just touch on the food X classification system. So why phytate? I'm a zinc person, so phytate in particular speaks to me. So as you can see here, many, many years ago, it was recognized that phytate does have an impact on zinc absorption. There's a more recent study by Michael Hambage, and this is using isotope data, that's actually shown that phytate has quite a strong impact on the nutrient requirement for zinc, because it's affecting the absorption of zinc. And many of the EAR, the estimated average requirements, the requirements for zinc, are based on having no phytate in the diet. But of course, in many countries, especially especially countries that are eating a lot of unrefined cereals or legumes, there could be much higher phytate levels in the diet. And this, as you can see, can double. You've got 1,000 phytates per day in the diet. That would double the actual estimated average requirement 3. So it really does have quite a linear impact. So there's a move at the moment, there's an interest at the moment in getting phytate values for food composition tables. And so the FAO is preparing a phytate database. But one of the issues with phytate is the values, if you look at what's in the literature, the values are all over the map. So we put together a food composition table for phytate, but the values were all over the place. Part of it is related to the way phytate is analyzed, and you really do want it analyzed using HPLC. And even then, the values were really very variable. And part of the reason for that is that when you collect a food sample, if there's any fermentation of the sample, etc., you're going to get a reduction of the phytate content. So you've got to also be very careful with handling samples because there's a breakdown of phytate if there's any fermentation. So they've got to be collected well, handled well, and then analyzed well. If you've got fermented foods in the database, like for example in West Africa, they eat quite a bit of fermented food. So we were analyzing different types of what's called pite, which is a fortified corn product. And it was highly variable because it depended very much on the fermentation conditions in the population. So even for some foods, especially fermented foods, it may be difficult to, you have to have a lot of samples to get a good estimate of what the actual phytate content would be. So there's many issues with phytate. And with these fermented foods, you really do want the HPLC, so you can look at the IP6 and IP5, because those are the active forms of phytate. Once the fermentation brings it down to IP2, IP3, it doesn't have the same impact on absorption. So there's many issues, but yet it's an important nutrient. If anybody's interested, at the moment, these are some of the sources that are available on phytate content. We have a sort of informal database that I'd be happy to share with anyone. Yes, but if anybody's looking at zinc in particular, there is some reason for considering phytate. Likewise, you've got to be careful if you're borrowing values. Folate in particular is one you have to be careful with because of the dietary folate equivalents. And particularly if you're borrowing from the USDA, because there's quite high levels of folate fortification in the USDA. And the reason we've got to have some caution about it is because dietary folate that comes naturally from foods is not as well absorbed as folic acid when it's fortified. So the dietary folate is 50% bioavailable, absorbed from the diet, whereas the synthetic folic acid is 85% available. So this is the reason we now have dietary folate equivalents for folate. But if they do include folic acid, then the amount that's absorbed is quite a bit higher. So it's important to be aware of that. Luckily with the USDA, I know when I've gone to the USDA to borrow values from it, it does give you the food folate as well as the DFE. So it's important if you don't have the same level of fortification to use the food folate when you're borrowing folate values, particularly from the USDA, or wherever they do have both the synthetic folate and the food supply. Again, we've touched on this a little bit earlier in the first talk about sort of the retinol activity equivalents, because my understanding is in the Indonesian food composition table, especially from what you just said, is that most of it is in retinol activities. Retinol equivalents, sorry. And so again, if you're borrowing, you would want to make sure that what you're borrowing is in the same units, whether it's retinol activity equivalent or retinol equivalents. If there's a lack of information on retinol, which it sounds like there may be, it could be, if you have information on retinol, you can convert so that you can do certain conversion factors. But again, sort of having some of these other carotenoids. And as we've said, we've heard in the first talk, there are many issues in trying to convert from retinol equivalents to retinol activity just be very careful when you're borrowing, that you're borrowing the red home equivalents, because that's what you're going to be using. Again, what's really challenging is if you begin to fortify flour in a country. Because not only is it going to be impacting on the flour per se, it's also going to be impacting on any processed foods that are prepared using that fortified flour. So there's an issue when flour is being fortified. So for example, if there was, in New Zealand when I was living there, there was talk about fortifying the food supply with folate. The decision was made against it, but at the time there was discussion, should we allow folate fortified flour to go into our food supply, so any biscuits, etc., that are prepared from the flour would be fortified flour. At that time there was discussion, should we just, with any processed foods, it shouldn't use the fortified flour, or should it use the fortified flour? But if the fortified flour is used, then prepared products also have to be adjusted for those fortification levels. We've done a sample. This is interesting. This relates a little bit to your own topic. And this data I want is quite old now, so it may not be relevant today. These samples were collected in a study that we did in East Lombok, and we did the study in 2005. So we were collecting samples, we collected many samples, but some of them were commercial infant cereals. And what we found was quite interesting. So if you look at first baby soup, commercial cereals that we found in that area, we collected 8 samples here. You see that there's quite a bit of variation, particularly for iron. The labeling would have said that was fortified to be 10 milligrams of iron. What we found is that A is highly variable and much lower than the fortified levels. And likewise for zinc, I can't remember now what the fortification level was for zinc, but again you can see it's highly variable in these products that we collected in this area. In contrast, we also collected samples from the Ministry of Health. This is food they were giving out to poor families. And you can see that there, so we have 6 samples here, but you can see it's much more consistent and much higher in terms of the iron as compared to the commercial foods that we happen to be looking at in that area. But another message is that both those commercial foods actually were higher in these micronutrients than the rice flour that we consume. So again, it raises some issues, you know, with these fortified foods. If you're borrowing labor and putting it into your food composition table, you may actually be overestimating if there has been a problem with losses of nutrients from the product. So it's just again to be aware. So we're doing a study at the moment in Nepal on snack foods, and we've decided to collect these foods and to analyze them for some of these micronutrients to see if the label values are agreeing with the actual values of the food products themselves. But again, I just want to emphasize that this is very old data, and so this situation might not exist today. But if we do want to calculate nutrient values, so this is really speaking now to the students. So if you're trying to put together your own food composition table and are trying to calculate nutrient values, if it's a fairly simple food, you can decide what the content of that food is and then calculate it based on the list of ingredients in it. So this is just giving you an example from wheat crackers, where you've got a list of ingredients that were in it from the manufacturer. So in this cracker there would have been whole wheat, soya oil, salt. If you look at some of the macronutrients, you can make a decision about actually how much whole wheat went into it, for example, because you know that the protein and carbohydrate, for example, will be coming from whole wheat. You know the total amount of these nutrients from the label that are in it. So you know that the whole wheat flour must provide the 9.7 grams of protein, it must provide the 67.7 grams of carbohydrate. We know the nutrient content per 100 grams of whole wheat, so for example 100.2 and 75.2 for carbohydrate from the food composition data. So we can estimate the amount of wheat that went into that product by looking at the ratio of the amount of nutrient to what would be produced if you put 100 grams of that wheat flour in the product. So based on that, we've got either 87% of that cracker was whole wheat or 90% of that cracker was whole wheat. We can take the average of those two, so we're going to assume that about 88% of that cracker was whole wheat. And then, of course, we can calculate what we would expect the nutrient content. We can go beyond the macronutrients then. So we would, and then you can do that calculation. This is showing you the calculated values from that formulation, and you can see here, of course, they're going to be very close for the protein, and then we can calculate the calcium, the iron, the zinc, the etc. Because of making that assumption. For the soy oil, again, we would know that most of the fat would be coming from soy oil, so based on the amount of oil that we have, we can estimate how much oil went into it, salt, there would be very little nutrient in it. So that's just, you can take the ingredient list, the food composition table, the labeling that's on it, and you can actually estimate it, and then that allows you to calculate more nutrients than are actually on the label itself. That's the important thing there. We're looking at this, or seeing if there's anything, if the label contains information on the percentage of daily values of the nutrient, you can also do calculations based on the label information. So for example, if we know that the iron content is 4% of the daily value of iron for an adult in one serving, we know the daily value for iron for an adult woman is 18 milligrams. We know the serving size would be 26 grams. If we know that one serving provides 4% of the RNI for an adult woman, then we know that it would provide 0.72 milligrams for one serving. And then again, we can calculate the iron content per 100 grams of those biscuits based on sort of this information. So again, the labeling information can be used to calculate up and calculate down. The other factor is when we're looking at vendors. If you're working in a rural area, there may be quite a bit of food consumed from vendors. And again, you're having to look at what food composition tables we're going to be using. One of the ways of doing that is to actually collect information from vendors. Another way, of course, is to collect food samples from vendors and analyzing it. But if you can't do that, you may try to get recipe data from vendors, particularly if these foods are being consumed very often by the target population. So you can collect recipes from vendors, transform those recipes into ingredients, and there's different ways of sort of doing that depending on what sort of how the food is used. So you can locate nutrient values, of course, from food composition tables. You can locate retention factors, and by retention factors I mean if you're cooking the food, it's going to be losing some nutrients. So maybe if you boil a carrot, it might lose maybe 95, or it might lose 5% of the zinc. So 95% of the zinc would be retained in that carrot after it was boiled. So you need to know information about retention factors, also yield factors, and this is the amount of the raw ingredient that actually went into the food. So for example, there's going to be losses due to peeling, there's going to be losses due to water loss, and that's the yield factor. So the weight, the final weight will differ from the ingredients that went into it because of these losses. But the recipe itself might have the raw ingredients. So it might have an egg with a shell on it, it might have a carrot that's actually peeled. So once you've got all of that information, you can actually calculate the nutrient content based on one of these methods. So if, and it depends a little bit on the type of food and whether or not, sort of the complication that you want to go into it. So that again is just how to use the calculations. Sources of yield factors and changes in cooking. Here are some sources for your yield factors if you want to use it. Sources of data for retention factor. I've also provided some sources of data for retention factor on this slide. And just to give you an example of how you adjust for retention, this is showing you the loss in bread after toasting. So the thiamine content of fresh bread is 0.22 milligrams per 100 gram. There's 15% loss during toasting. So the thiamine content of the toasted bread would be the amount of the original plus the amount that's lost. And so that would give you the actual thiamine content of the bread after it's toasted. So just to give you an example of how the calculation is done. Again, there's more vitamin and mineral supplements. Databases are important. They're a nightmare to make because there's so many supplements in the available, and they really vary. Luckily, there is now an interest in generating a database on it. So this is summarized on this website here about the global supplementation database that is available. It's being developed harnessing smartphone technology. So it's getting people to collect information and send it to the global database to register on the global database. And so this is a joint project by the FAO and George Institute in Australia. What they're requesting is that people take photographs, either using an iPhone or an Android. They upload it onto the website that they provide for this, and then they will use this information to create this global supplementation database, which is going to be published in InFoods, and so it will be available for use to try to get on top of the fact that there's so many different supplements. If you're doing a dietary study locally, you may want to collect that information yourself using a smartphone. So taking pictures of the labels so that can go into your database later. Because there can be many supplements and many different levels in them. So just again to caution when borrowing nutrient values from other food composition tables, check that it is the same food, check that it is the same nutrient, as we were talking about especially with folate or vitamin A, and check that it's not affected by soil concentrations. And this is particularly important for selenium and iodine because they will differ very much in different areas. Another slide I want to show you a little bit here is when you're borrowing from food composition tables, there's lots of decisions that are going to be made, and it's not going to be easy decisions. I know it's one of my least favorite tasks when I'm doing a study is putting together a food composition database because you're constantly making decisions. It's constantly difficult. And this is just showing you some of the issues you're going to run up with. So this is again from a publication of ours, recent publication of ours. What we did is we looked at the content of these different chicken products from food composition tables in the UK, US, and Australia to see how they differ. So I've just highlighted 3 of them here, but we've got many other nutrients in that publication. But you can see here for vitamin A, chicken liver, there's a huge variation. So which do you choose? There's no obvious choice, because it's going to depend partially on how the chicken was fed, etc. So what this slide is really just highlighting to you is that there can be vast differences across food composition tables in very similar foods, and so those are some of the decisions that are having to be made when you're putting the composition table together. So you might look for values, and when you're doing these imputing, you might be looking from fresh foods to dry foods, so you're going to have to account for any losses with drying. Cooked values to raw values, again, retention factors on cooking losses or cooking gains. Values, and you're looking at the published literature as well as other food composition tables. You're looking for similar food items. Generic, you may want to create a generic value. So if you've got different types of apples, you're not sure when you collect the dietary data because you didn't collect information on the type of apple. So you might want to do a composite where you're weighting it by the food composition lines for individual apples. Never assume a value is 0 if it's not there. It could be trace. Only use that for nutrients when you're absolutely sure the value is zero. Calculating missing values, we've already heard about that in the earlier talk, just how challenging that is. And when you're doing imputing or doing these calculations, always fully document sort of where you got it from, because later on you're going to wish you had that information. And this is just giving you a little sort of some of the ways that can be. One of the things that is very important is actually converting if there's a difference in the water content of the food in your food composition table and another food composition table, it's very important when you're imputing to adjust for some of these differences. And that's related to this one here. Likewise, if you're calculating a cooked food from a raw food, you have to adjust for retention and yield. And if you're converting a nutrient from a dry to a wet, you're having to convert to that moisture. So just this slide here is showing a little bit about how you do it. If you were taking, for example, foods in the USDA, the water content in the USDA is 65%. In your food composition table, it's 70. The nutrient content in the USDA that you're imputing from is 12.2. You have to adjust for that difference in water content using this formula. So in your food composition table, you would be entering 10.3. So again, it's very important to be aware of some of these issues when you're imputing. So this is just giving you a list of some of the sources of food nutrient composition data that are available. Some of the documentation that you can available, because when you're looking at it, if you're documenting where you borrowed it from, you want to look at what the name should be. So this is some of the data you might need, some of the scientific names if possible. Anything with number of food samples, the quality assurance that's been done, the data source, the recipe calculations, etc. And there's a good website to look at which talks a little bit about some of these ways of documenting and the quality assurance you might need when borrowing the food composition tables. Finally, there's a movement now to really make sure that there's sort of a gift project in the the FAO, where they're trying to combine food composition tables and health with future studies. To use this, to put your food composition data, your food consumption data on this database, they're asking people to map the foods with FedEx. And so if it's possible, when you're developing a food composition table, if you can map your particular foods with the FedEx, that will help later if you're ever trying to update your consumption data into sort of a gift, etc. So this is a hierarchical classification system. It's been devised by the European Food Safety Authority. It's created to facilitate the comparability across the Europeans, but it's now being used to facilitate comparability across globally. At the moment, it has 2,000 foods based in its classification system. You may want to consider mapping some of the food codes to the FedEx because it will facilitate comparisons later. Now, I looked at the website this morning, and unfortunately, it was down, so I'm not sure sort of whether that's going to be available now. But that is the website that is currently listed. So, in conclusion, then, we definitely need more analyzed values for the composition table. It's a real need for anything to do with dietary assessment. And luckily, there's an interest now, a global interest that's developing for the need for food consumption data. It is now being recognized, so there are resources that are going into this. Data for glycate and maybe polyphenols, fatty acids, amino acids should be added. Nutrient values for fortified products need to be monitored and potentially revised. Standardized methods for estimating nutrient content of commercial food products need to be developed and adopted. Database for vitamin and mineral supplements need to be compiled. Explore, there is this Eurofear food basket. It is a simple recipe calculator that is available, so that might be useful, especially for some of the students in the room, although there is a cost of using it. Consider mapping this to the FedEx system. establish very standardized documentation about food composition values imputed or made for any food composition table, and avoid missing values, give an estimate of 0. So thank you very much for your attention. And those are some of the issues I want to raise.
Thank you very much, Elaine, for the presentation, and especially it is important for those of you who are going to start your research. Be careful when handling your FCT, because it may be the source of your over or underestimation of the intake. Yeah. So now we would like to invite all the 4 speakers to please join me in the table. Ibu Najarina, Prof. Ratna, Elaine, and also Dr. Debbie. Okay, so thank you very much all the 4 speakers for your important information, also complimentary info from all of the 4 topics. So now we open the question answer session. We have about 30 minutes discussion. So for the first round, I would like to open 3 questions from the audience. Please raise your hand, mention your name and institution, and to which speaker you would like to address a question to. Okay. First, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Ibu Atmarita dulu, then Adi and Pak.
Actually, I would like to ask if, because this is really my concern about the food labeling, because since we do not have concrete food composition table in nutrient, so how the food industry put the label on the nutrient fact, and then how Badan POM evaluate that? That's my really concern. And then about street food also, how the Badan POM evaluate street food. Yeah, because we really consume a lot of street food. Okay, that's maybe the 2 questions.
Thank you, Rumi. I would like to ask Dr. Elaine, because it's very interesting information. Since my research will be on folic acid and folate, I'm interested in the qualification of flour in countries since and the various food flours also very diverse. Means that if you are not a producer of wheat, but you consume flour a lot. According to your opinions, I conducted that now on intake of the, because respondent will be pregnant mothers and their children, children as well. The food processing of flours, it starts from frying, steam, bake, and fermented also for bread. Do you think how should I do to moderate the treatment of the food and to convert it to the so maybe bioavailability of folic acid for the consumption in Indonesia setting? From the food processing of the flour, because it's very various. Thank you.
Thank you for the nice presentation and information. I'm Smedi from Jakarta Study Program Innovation. I have a question for Nazarina and also for Ratna. The first question is for Nazarina. You mentioned that Indonesian FCT passport already update food composition table. And my question is how and where we can find the latest updated food composition table. Is it available for soft copy or online version, so as a student we can access it easily, for example? And then to Ratna, for my future study, I plan to do some dietary pattern and intake assessment, especially if it is the interest of dietary fats, including the fatty acid, for example, saturated and unsaturated fatty acids. Now, I need your suggestion. If I would like to do that, which food composition table that I would like to use. Because from Nazarina presentation, I know that most of food in Indonesian food composition table do not include the fat composition in the food. So I do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the questions from the audience. So the first question is addressed to Dr. Teji about the manufactured food and also in particular about the solid food. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, right. Thank you. So you have the two questions. Yeah, this is about how the producer can put the nutrition fact in the label. Yeah, yeah, because for the food processing, yeah, before go to the market, they must register to be formed. Yeah, in the FDA. So we have the one unit we call the registration director. Yeah. So every food, yeah, and also because the label they must put fat, nutrition fact. Yeah. This is okay. I already explained the mandatory. Yeah. For example, they must go to the serving package or amount of the one package container. Yeah. And also about the total. Yeah. Fat. Yeah. Sodium. Yeah. Also protein and carbohydrate. Yeah. They must put the fact. Yeah. Including the regulation. And also they must submit the certificate of analysis for nutrients. Yeah. And also the certificate must be issued by the laboratory already accredited. Yeah, not all laboratory can give the analysis. Yeah, because we have some elite accreditation. Yeah, they must give the certificate from this laboratory. Yeah, and of course after we have the we call Kongas. Yeah, this is the have team expert from BPOM and also from the university like the Bogor and IPB. Yeah, we review. Yeah, this is according to the regulation and also the some standard. Yeah, this is and also if possible also we can take a sample for testing. Yeah, after we approve, we give the registration number. Yeah, and the producer can market. Yeah, the market can sell this product in the market. Yeah, this is we call pre-market evaluation. Yeah, and after the product sell in the market, we still have some control. Yeah, we call post-market control. Yeah, not only in Jakarta, but until now we have 33 province level report. Yeah, we call Balai POM in every province. They also have the method of sampling. Every year we change. Yeah, for their food. Yeah, what kind, yeah, how to sampling and testing for laboratory, yeah, and they can give report. This product still, yeah, fulfill their requirement as they register first time pre-market. It's not same like I said, this for 45 must same or more than 100%, and they have the maximum and minimum level. Yeah, this is also more fulfilled for this requirement, and other maybe not less than 80%. Yeah, if the refine the some analysis not fulfilled for this requirement, so we give the letter to recall or to prepare another, yeah, for this is to action for this company. Yeah, this is recall for that. Yeah, and until now we still, yeah, of course this is the development system. Yeah, but we still have the product, yeah, procedure tetap recall. Yeah, for every laboratory and every control inspector, you do like that. Yeah, this is for the company. Yeah. For street food, of course, this is the big problem in Indonesia. Yeah, because we have so many street food. Yeah, but of course, this is not only BPOM. Yeah, but according to the regulation, yeah, this is of course under Ministry of Health. Yeah, because we call the processed food. This is in Indonesia. This is the pangan olahan. Yeah, we call pangan olahan. But ada pangan olahan yang siap saji, ready to eat, yeah, including in restaurant, in canteen, yeah, canteen, in the catering, yeah. Also, this is controlled by Ministry of Health. Yeah, in this case, maybe also by Dinkes, Dinas Kesehatan in every province, yeah. But of course, people also can enter to control, yeah, because they also use some food additive. Yeah, we call bahan tambahan pangan (BTP) because this is under control of BPOM. Or maybe they use some hazardous compound bahan berbahaya. Yeah, so BPOM can enter in this food, yeah, food street, and we can sampling and do testing. Yeah, we also have now circle mobile clearing. Yeah, we call in every province they have mobile clearing. They go to the school, yeah, they go to the market, traditional market, and they sampling the product and they test directly using rapid test. Yeah, if the sample is contain some food additive, yeah, or some dangerous substance, yeah, we can directly take action. Yeah, we can recall, yeah, and give some advice for them, and we can put in the directly go to the laboratory to more testing for follow up what kind of this substance, yeah, contains in the food, yeah, and give the letter to the Dinas Kesehatan to give advertising advice, yeah, for this producer or this street food seller. Yeah, this is our, we have the product, yeah, for that. Yeah, so this is for food street, of course, because without label. Yeah, because they directly, yeah, but of course this is under Ministry of Health. Yeah, but for BPOM, we want to give safety concern, safety reason for producer, for consumer, for public health. So now we focus on food street. This is especially for good food additive, and also for safety concern. This is maybe contains of microbial, yeah. But for the nutrition, maybe I think like in the home, yeah, our home also we prepare food, yeah, catering also, yeah. But maybe for nutrition, this is maybe like every time we eat, this is the same, yeah. But for the processed food in using labeling, yeah, they must follow the regulation, yeah. Because this is every time we eat, but maybe we some need some supplement from the processed food, yeah. So maybe the people they can prepare it at home, they can buy directly. So maybe they can see in the label what kind they need for nutrition, for energy and for that. Yeah, especially also for the claim food with claim. This is very important for consumer because they have some maybe prohibited, yeah, maybe cholesterol, like the high cholesterol. They say, oh, this is food without cholesterol, so they can eat. Yeah, but for the low cholesterol, maybe they need, yeah. Okay, no concern about cholesterol, they can eat food. And this is important for consumer. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Devi. So mostly learned about the food safety. Yeah. Was really good, yeah. Interesting also about the nutrient content, yeah, to know more about it. So the second question is addressed to Dr. Elaine about the folate in the fortified foods, also in relation to whether or not that will affect the content.
Sorry. In sort of a research situation, because my understanding is that the food composition table in Indonesia at least does include the fortified. It is the DM, the dietary folate equivalents. Oh, it's a folate, yes. I guess in a research situation, if there is funding, one of the, and sort of the availability of laboratories, one solution, which is what was done with fatty acids, is actually to collect food samples as consumed, so put food samples and have them analyzed. And so what you'd be looking at would be the foods that you would expect most of the folate to come from. So you look at the percentage of the population who would consume those foods, or consume different foods, and then you would select the foods depending on the funding situation that are consumed that would be high sources of folate by the highest percentage of the population, would be the ideal way to do it, because then you are confident about the values that are there. You'd be selecting probably 5 foods per food sample, would be sort of the minimum you'd want to do, so you can look at the variability across the population. You want them to be in prepared form. You want to collect them, dry them very quickly, and then analyze them using appropriate techniques. Now, I know the microbiological assays often used for folate. Now, the fortified folate, I'm not so sure what the issues would be there, but you could look at the literature, talk to people who do food composition analysis to find the right type of analysis, sort of to make sure that the analysis was done. With the lab, you probably want to check their quality control to ensure that they're using sort of certified reference material, for example, to look at the accuracy, doing duplicates, composition, etc. So you'd also want to look at the quality control procedures that are used in the lab. But that would be your ideal situation in a research situation.
Then what would be maybe also, what if in the meantime before that can be done? Is there any suggestion?
Well, I guess then you are relying on information from manufacturers, you're relying on information from food composition data. The most common, the best sources of folate that are available, you could even look across food composition tables to see what the region looks like, but then sometimes you're having to make decisions. But sort of looking at manufacturer information, the retention factors, if in the food composition table they have raw values, then you want to adjust those raw values for any cooking losses. So when you're collecting the dietary data, make sure that you collect information as well as cooked. So you can do those, use the retention factors to make those adjustments. So that would be your second option, the best option.
Thank you, Elaine, for the answer. I hope that gives you some tips how to proceed further with your research. Now, the third question is addressed to Ibu Nazarina and Prof. Ratna about whether it is already published, the start of the SCT and also the fatty acid, yes, some files on fatty acids request.
About whether the draft is published, actually the point it belongs next November. Hopefully, yeah. On 12 November, we get back with health day. So we will launch the soft copy But for the soft copy, you can get from the website that is being developed with instant processing. And in the website also, you can upload for everyone who have the data for food composition from analyzing food. We can upload the data, and then we can do quality assurance whether those data can be included in the FCP for updating. Yes.
So it is coming soon.
This year.
It is coming soon this year. Citizen mentioned the specific time, but just now in the chair he said expectedly this November. So let's pray November, yeah. And that would be good because there is two important things that we can get from the FCT. Not only can you get the information, but also you can also share, because now it is important. Many parties are working on FCT separately, our teams in universities, Nutrition Academy also. So I think it's time to really share. But then maybe the good thing in the website is also to have some kind like standardized approach. So some kind like, because sometimes we are not sure which value to refer to. I think by mentioning the standardized method, then we know that this is more reliable information for this nutrient because the method is following the gold standard. Yeah, I think we look forward to that. Yeah. How about the fatty acid, Prof?
The fatty acid, the one that I share with you is already published in the journal. So, but if you ask which one is the best, I think the first one is the chemical analysis, not the one with the USDA if you want to use. But I do have other fatty acid composition. We are working with CPU. we have to work. I have a lot of data about fatty acid composition, but we have to adjust. Again, I'll tell you. We are working.
So another promise for this is also from the expert in fatty acid, and also this is the spirit because I'm also expected to support the FCT working group for this additional nutrient, and that's the reason why we will have the session after the break today to get more some kind like maybe some commitment and also the plan what to do next, because a lot of studies are not done in fatty acid and coming soon maybe amino acid, because amino acid is also important for stunting. Okay, so now I open for the second round. Please, I see the raised hand before on the back. 3 questions, yeah? 1, 2. I open for 3. 3. Okay, thank you.
Okay, my name is Rafael. I'm a student of Master Program in Clinical Nutrition, University of Indonesia. I want to ask question for Dr. Elaine. From I see in your lecture, you did mention that water content does affect the value of nutrition in food. My first question is that how do you measure the water content in food? And the second is that does the water content affect all the nutrients all together, like macronutrients and micronutrients? If it affects micronutrients, does it affect all kinds of micronutrients in the same way, like fat-soluble or water-soluble nutrients? My third question is that is there a standardized water content on AFCP, like you see, like maybe USDA use 70% of water content in a food, like that, or maybe Indonesian use different water content in their foods, their standard, because I think we cannot use many variable of water content in one FCP. Maybe that is my question. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Davina. Thank you. So I would like to ask a question for Dr. Kathy. So my question is, in the past I read an article that I can remember on top of my mind, that it mentioned that if the amount of the nutrients is really low, like near zero, like 0.005 or 0.05, for example, for a trans fat, if the amount is like 0.005, the product could mention it in the nutrition facts as 0. Is that true? So yes, just for my curiosity. Yeah. So because according to Dr. Elaine lecture, we cannot mention as 0 if we really can. Yeah.
I'm Agnes from Global Life Implementation Team, and I'm so happy to be here today to see all the presentation, especially from Global Seminar for the hard work during this last 1 year with Ibu Umi support to finalize our food composition table, and then hopefully the time is still November. I think that will be confirmed by Minister of Health. And as well, from partner, it's very good that we have more detailed information about the certain consumption, the social benefits, and then from Dr. Elaine to come, and then give more input on how we will, continue the development of the composition table in the future. So, because I'm quite, what do you call it, because I'm hoping that the team to support them. I only support them on administration actually, but now I more get to know that how difficult actually, what is the challenges to establish a national composition table. So I really appreciate for all the team to their hard work. And because we have one presenter today that is, I more curious actually from the presentation from Pak Becky related with the regulation under processed food. There is one, actually we have faced one concern now to support, to improve the nutrient content on the processed food. And I'm wondering about, because I saw your presentation in one slide, that is about nutrition fact, that is if there is a range, so the lower limit and the upper limit of the nutrition content, and you mentioned that for the certification of analysis, that it should meet the requirement of the maximum content and or minimum. So that's my, what is the minimum and or minimum? So whether it's analyzed and then it's only meet the maximum, but then in the analyzed not really meet the minimum. Is it low? Or what is the minimum? Or it should be minimum and maximum still have to. So both, so not and all. Thank you.
Thank you for all the questions. The first question is first addressed to Elaine about water content, how we do adjustment.
Yeah, it was one of the reasons I put that slide up is because I know when I've worked with different groups, I've seen them just taking directly a value from one food composition table and putting it into another. But of course, in the food composition table, there's an assumption about the amount of water that's in the particular food, and so the nutrients that should be reflecting that. And if you've got more water in a food, that's going to dilute the nutrient content of that food as compared to if there's less water. So a dry food has much higher nutrient content per 100 grams of that food than a wet food, because of course the water doesn't contain nutrients. So that's one of the reasons I really wanted to emphasize the fact that in your own food composition table, this is when you're imputing values that are missing. In your own food composition table, there'll be an assumption about, or an analyzed value, because often they're analyzed. So what you would be doing to get the water content of a food is you collect the food fresh, you dry it to get rid of the water, and then you calculate the amount of water that was released to decide on the water content in that particular food. So that's where the data is derived from. And then you bring the food back, so we know how much water is in that food. If the food has more water than the one that the food composition table that you're borrowing from, that means that you're going to have to adjust the nutrient content from that food because it's going to be higher in that food than it would with your food because your food has more water in it. And so the solid content in that food, in your food composition table, is going to be lower than the solid content in the food that's in the borrowed food composition table. So that's really why I want to particularly emphasize that, because I've seen so many people that would go from one food composition table, just take the values in that food composition table for the nutrient and plug it into their own. And that may be, it's correct. If the water content is the same, then it's fine. But if there's a big difference in water content, it will have an impact on the nutrient level. Does that answer all of the questions?
Whether it affects to the same extent to affect the water soluble?
It would be the same effect with everything because the water content is just water. It doesn't have any nutrients in it per se. So it's really just trying to get the difference between what's water and then what's solid. And that solid would have the nutrients in it.
Thank you, Glenn. So you don't need to remember the formula, just express it per gram dry weight in the source and then multiply it by the gram dry weight in your food. That's the bridge. Okay, so the two questions are addressed to Dr. Sepi about the range, what you mean by minimum and or maximum value, and then also when can we really put it 0 or 0.0.
Okay, thank you. So for two questions, the first about maybe the significant value of the decimal, for the Of course, this is in the rational we can see what is the meaning of the value. For example, 0.01. Of course, we see it's very low, it's very small. But they have big effect in the nutrition effect or the have effect for the food or not. If this is very small, not effect because they have the standard value, so we can take this is 0. But it's the small value, but they have meaning, significant effect for food. So this is cannot put 0. We still must put the value. So this is the meaning of the value. Sometimes maybe this is not so meaning. This is very small. So we can kita dapat abaikan dia. Okay, put 0 is no problem. But if there's some value small, but they have meaning for the nutrition, like vitamin, mineral, also in the small value, but we must put, and also we have the relation to the limit of detection of how to analyze, like that. So for the maximum and minimum, this is I put in here, for the food product that have maximum and or minimum limit, So the result of analysis must same. For example, the one level that they put the nutrition value maximum for that. They put maximum value. It means this contents of this material substance maximum, not more than that, but less can. Because they have some safety concern, maybe like that, or they have some more than that, can put in this another category, like vitamin A. Vitamin A, this is can put in food supplement, or like a supplement, health supplement, and also drug. The one material, one vitamin, but can put in as drug, as the health supplement, or as food. So this is the maximum. Maybe for example, like also vitamin D. Vitamin C also. They have the some value as the health supplement or as drug. Yeah, so we must follow that. But for a minimum also, yeah, maybe not more than minimum value can, but not less than, because they have standard nutrition fact. This is have nutrition or not. Yeah, but less than no effect, like they said, less than, then maybe we can, this is no nutrition, this is zero. Yeah, so they have minimum value and can claim as they have nutrition, yeah, fact in their food. But for example, some substance also they have the maximum and minimum level. So their value, yeah, the analysis must value must range, yeah, minimum and maximum, not more than maximum and not less than minimum. Yeah, because they have some concern about that. Yeah, this is depend for the value they are described for the standard in material or the level, like that. Yeah, I think this is clear. Yeah, not cannot like that, but maximum, not more, and minimum, not less than minimum. They already stated in the level. Yeah, yeah, like that. This is clear. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tebi, for the explanation. I think if you have further questions, of course, we still have some session during the lunch where you can also come to the speakers. But before we end the sessions, I would like to invite each speaker to perhaps you can give your take-home message. It may be related to your presentation and also your wish for Indonesian FCT, some kind like short tips. Maybe you would like to start from here.
Well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate you on taking on a huge task of updating your food composition table, because it really is. It is a very challenging task. It's a very, it is a very difficult task. But yet, as I was really emphasizing on the talk, I just want to re-emphasize, the dietary assessment is critical. It's really the basis of what we're doing when we're trying to make decisions about the percentage of populations at risk. Is we need that very accurate food. We need good food composition table, and not because there's so many databases. If you look at them, I'm more familiar with an African context. I'm very familiar with an African context, where most of the food is borrowed from the USDA. So I congratulate you, and the efforts you are doing are just incredibly important. So thank you. Advice. I would, for the students, I'm probably more comfortable making advice for students, because I'm sure the experts working on the food composition table would know sort of more of the details. But for the students, it is very important to make sure you're aware of the decisions that you're making. Don't just sort of take any food composition data, because there are errors in food composition tables is the other thing. So you'll be analyzing something. So when we do our linear programming, for example, one of the things that's come out of that I wasn't expecting is it picks up values in food composition tables that are incorrect, because all food composition tables are going to have error, because it's such a tedious process. And the thing is to always look at things critically. So if you're getting a result you don't expect, a little bit like what you found with the fatty acids, question it. Don't just accept it, question it. Because there are going to be errors in food composition tables. Always read up very well when you're using food composition tables, how to make those calculations when you're putting, the imputing values, etc. And be careful of those zeros. Make sure that they're actually true zeros, or you will get a systematic underestimation of what you're doing. So it's a very tedious process. One of my PhD students has just finally finished putting together her food composition table for a study in Nepal, and we were celebrating because it is a very detailed, and there's so many decisions is why, and there's not clear decisions, which is why it's a bit challenging. But it is important, so don't get discouraged. Thank you.
Some kind of expectation, maybe you may also like to
maybe suggest for this effort, collective effort, I call it collective effort for improving our FCP. Maybe specifically about the fatty acid, Prof. Ratna, especially we have some people are going to do research on this.
I think we really have to really work hard again to complete our food composition table, because I'm working with two institutions, and they do analyze the fatty acid composition of food. One they analyze in the IQB, and then the other one they analyze at unilever blood. And then when we look at the data, the same food, the same code, because we use the code from the nation food composition, but they have different value, and then it's really difficult to decide which value are we going to use. We are working with that. So keep consistent to work with our food composition table, because really this is the way that how are we going to analyze our dietary in the community if we don't have a good food composition table. It will rise.
Yes, thank you for that. So the work is ongoing still. Yeah.
Actually, all of you can contribute for updating our HCP. For example, when you have food composition data or nutrients, something like that, for example, when you conduct research and doing food analysis, you can upload in our website, and then you can decide whether the quality for the data analysis is good, and then we can put in our website. And you can tell to some of your friends about this, so we can reach our food composition table year by year.
Yeah, thank you. So the website is hosted by
Ministry of Health.
Ministry of Health. Together. For America it is USDA, agriculture, now it is the headquarters will be Ministry of Health.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think this is your topic today is very important also for my organization, yeah, because current issue and update on food composition table, yeah. I think of course all data and all research result, yeah, and we will need to update our regulation about composition table for food, yeah, because we need some input, yeah, for your research. Maybe you can publish, or maybe you can directly report to us to update. Yeah, this is already maybe for now is okay, but more for the next, yeah, because according to the some regulation, some the innovative product, yeah, maybe we need, yeah, to change, yeah, what is the fact for the composition table for food, yeah. I think this is important for us, yeah, not only for the bankers, yeah, maybe they do, yeah, for that, but also from the University in Indonesia also we need the information about that, and we can discuss with the expert, yeah, we can change maybe, yeah, if possible, yeah. And also maybe I would like to inform you that yesterday also we are talking about how to develop the standard national Indonesia SNE, yeah. This is also, of course, it is still voluntary, not mandatory, yeah. But we want to prepare what kind of the raw material for food, yeah, can use or can prohibit in some food, yeah. And of course, if you want to use some raw material in food, yeah, so the reference, the standard of this nutrient or something from it must clear, yeah. For example, must already state in the Pharmacopoeia Indonesia or some the Codex Makanan Indonesia, yeah, and also for the JFA, yeah. Also maybe for the like USP, United States Pharmacopoeia, yeah, because without standard reference, yeah, you cannot use in food, yeah. If you put in food and recall what is the standardized, for example, water content, yeah, what is the value of the nutrient fact in the product, you cannot use, you cannot approve in before put in the food. Yeah, you must have a clearly what kind of the standard of this substance you put in the food. Yeah, so some company also they still want to put some substance in the food, but if we say what is the reference, they already standardized in USP or some article for the international standard or not. This is not directly not help. So you must standardize and you must give the justification, the safety concern or something of this substance to put in the food. Yeah, without that we cannot approve. Yeah, so this is the for the future program. We need the clarification for that. Yeah, but now we prepare for the regulation for that. Yeah, yesterday we just talking with some expert. Yeah, for that. This is information for all of you. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Tepi. Indeed, the efforts of improving the FCT should be made collectively. Ministry of Health, FDA, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Fisheries, academics, research institutions, and everybody of you, you can also contribute if you have had good data that you can share together. Yeah, so I think we have that spirit to continue to move forward. We have seen significant progress with Indonesian FCT in the past 2 years. Congratulations, Ibu Nazarina and friends. We give applause to our spirit. And so thank you all speakers. Today we see that indeed different expertise, different institutions need to work together. So thank you very much, Dr. Tepi. We need also the support, information from FDA to continue our work, and also, of course, the fatty acid, all the other nutrients we also need to add further to support our research in Indonesia. So thank you very much. Thank you for all your active participation. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you for all the speaker and the moderator. For your information, all material on PDF from the speakers